Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. We are going to make a vintage inspired coffee grinder using Dollar Tree items. I can't wait to show you guys this one. I'm so excited. I love coffee grinders. I hope you do too. I saw this picture on Google Images and this was my inspiration. And to create this, I'm going to be using some wood stain and walnut, an Easter egg, just a plastic one left over from Easter, 12 Jenga blocks, this cardboard paper drawer set that you can get at Dollar Tree, some brown metallic paint, wood glue, the top of the solar light that you can get at Dollar Tree, one straw, and I'm showing you two beads, but I'm only using the bigger one. I thought I was going to use the smaller one, but I decided not to. So you're going to want to take your wood glue and you're going to want to attach 6 of these Jenga blocks. I'm using the Jumbling Towers from Dollar General, but Dollar Tree also sells Jenga blocks too. They're just a little smaller. Both will work. If you use Dollar Tree's Jenga blocks, you might need more than 6. Like I said, the ones from Dollar General are just a little bigger. So using wood glue and hot glue, I'm attaching 6 to make the base and 6 to make the top. I'm using the hot glue just to have it be secure right now because the wood glue will take a little bit longer to dry and I'm impatient and can't wait. Plus, I want to film this for you guys, so put a little hot glue in there. You could just rub the excess if it comes off or it comes out in between. And I'm using Walnut Stain by Minwax, and I love this color. It gives it a real deep, rich, rustic wood grain look for these Jenga blocks. I'm staining all the sides. The edges always stain darker than the top and the bottom, but I like that. It gives it that rustic country, what am I trying to say? Just different textured wood grain look. So I don't mind that some are lighter and some are darker. I only did 1 coat of stain. Now you can get these cute little drawer sets from Dollar Tree. I took the hardware off of both of them. I don't know why. I could have left the bottom hardware on. It's real easy to take off. You do need to remove the hardware from the top drawer though. And then using acrylic paint, Apple Barrel in brown. I'm giving this, I think I ended up doing 3 coats. The first coat always looks janky because this is a smooth surface and the acrylic paint doesn't want to adhere to it. But once that dries and you have that base coat of paint, your next coats turn out a lot better. They adhere to that first coat of paint and you start to get a deeper, richer brown. So don't mind this first coat. It always ends up looking like it's not going to work, but it does. So do 3 or 4 coats of paint. I removed the drawers to paint them just because I wanted to paint just around the edges, just in case you could see it. Now we're going to use that solar light. I am only going to use the top of this and I'm going to save the rest of it for another project. Who knows what I'll think of to use that on. I'm only going to use the bottom of the plastic Easter egg. I started off by painting these. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I missed that little wooden knob, so I had to go back and stain it real quick. And like I told you before, I ended up not even using the smaller bead. I had an idea for it. It just wasn't going to pan out. So ignore what I'm doing right here. I'm painting a useless bead. And then I'm going to move on to that egg. I started by painting the egg and the top of that solar panel in that metallic folk art. But because both surfaces were smooth, shiny, one was plastic, probably both are plastic, but it wasn't coating well. And I would have had to do so many coats of this to get full coverage. So I ended up coming back in with my folk art in black And once this part dried, I went over both things in the black. And then went back over with that metallic silver, and that worked out much better. The straw isn't the easiest thing to paint. I probably did about 3 or 4 coats. It kept wanting to get away from me. It kept turning on me. But after 3 or 4 coats, it had that desired metal look that I was going for. So just be patient. Hang in there. It'll get painted. Maybe not as fast as we want, but it will. And then I added some hot glue to the bottom of that Easter egg, and I hot glued it to the top of the solar light. I know it's hot glue, I know it's plastic, but it worked. And it didn't melt. And then I went around and did a layer of hot glue around the edge. And I think, and you guys, sorry, excuse me, I think it gives it like a welded look. That's just me. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to. Using the top of my glue gun, I made a hole in the top of the egg. I just used the tip of my glue gun to melt that egg, and it made the perfect hole for a couple steps down the line here. So now you have your egg on top of your solar panel. Here's where I came in with that black folk art, and the chalk paint adheres a lot better to plastic than acrylic paint does. So I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. But I gave that a coat of the black and then came back in with that metallic look. I wanted this to look metallic silver and kind of just old and been around forever and dinged up, and I achieved that part with that hot glue rim, didn't I? This isn't perfect. This is a Dollar Tree coffee grinder. So you gotta just use your imagination, and if somebody says, well, what is that? Say, well, that's where it's welded together. Oh no, maybe I'm reaching, but that was the only way I knew how to attach these two pieces, so bear with me. So then I came back in and I only had to do 1 coat of that metallic, and I got that desired metal look that I was trying to achieve. Now I'm going to put that hardware back only on the bottom drawer. This little handle is so easy to remove. It has a little screw on the back. You can put your finger on the screw and just screw the front piece right on. And then I touched it up with that brown. Like I said, all you had to do was remove the handle from the top drawer. I don't know why I removed both. Just wasn't thinking. So I had to touch it up a little bit. Now this next step is totally unconventional. And you're probably going to think I'm crazy, or if you've watched any of my videos, you already know I'm crazy. So this is not going to surprise you. But I am taking that wax, or that stain, the walnut stain, and I am going to stain this box. I'm going right over that paint. I'm doing it on the drawers, and I'm doing it on the whole box. I didn't know if this would work, but it did. And it was so cool. Look at that. It looks like wood now. I never even thought to stain paint. I'm so glad I tried it, because that's what really transformed this little cardboard set of drawers into looking like a vintage wooden box, which is exactly what I was going for my coffee grinder. I wanted that old rustic country wood look. I did not know how to achieve that by just painting this. I thought if I added other colors of paint, it was just going to look like I added other colors of paint. I wasn't going to get that wood grain look, which I did by staining over this paint. So no idea is crazy, guys. Some work, some don't. Sometimes you find out that something that you least expected to work is what your favorite technique turns out to be. So just using that acrylic paint and the paper I already had on my table, I'm just painting a brown like blob of paint. Then I'm going to cut that brown blob of paint out. And I'm going to make a little plate for this. I'm just going to cut it out round the corners to size, and then put 2 dots on each end to make it look like it was nailed in. And I'm writing cafe in the center of this, which you can't see because my hand is blocking it. And then using Mod Podge, I am going to put Mod Podge on the back of it to attach it to the top drawer, which is going to hide your hole that you have there from where the hardware was. And then I'm just going over just the part that I cut out in Mod Podge. So go back to your Jenga blocks, pick out the one you love the most, that'll be your top. The one that didn't turn out that great, that'll be your bottom. I didn't have any E6000, and this is just a decorative piece, so I really didn't think it mattered if I just hot glued these together. I'm going to have it on a shelf. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be picked up and touched that much where I think it will fall apart. So I used hot glue on the bottom of the boxes, hot glue on the top, and I attached the Jenga blocks to the top and bottom of this piece. Look at that. I can't believe how much that looks like wood. That's just blows my mind. Crazy. But I'm so happy with the way this is turning out. Now it's time to attach the top. Again, I'm just going to use hot glue. I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue on the bottom of this solar light and attach it to the top piece, which is your Jenga blocks. The hot glue was fine. I actually am using Gorilla Glue. And like I said, this isn't going to be picked up or played with. It's just for decorative purposes, so I figured the hot glue would be fine for this project. And now is where your straw comes in. That's going to be your handle, the grinding handle. Using the smaller end of the straw, and I forgot to mention earlier, when you paint the straw, make sure the accordion is fully extended so that it paints all of it. So using the smaller end, you're going to put it in that hole I made in the egg with my glue gun. And then the longer end, I'm attaching that bead. My bead had a hole in it and it fit perfect on the straw. So I put a little bit of hot glue inside the bead and then attached that straw. Here's where I was going to put that little bead in the corner, but I just didn't think it needed it. And it looks like a coffee grinder. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I can't believe it worked. It's so stinking cute. And that little cardboard box looks like wood, which another way I just was like amazed. And I was just blown away by this. But it's so cute. It looks so vintage, so rustic country. I love the straw handle because it was so easy, and I really didn't know how to attach 2 dowel rods to achieve that. So the fact that the straw handle worked was an added bonus, and I was very happy with how this turned out. Super simple, super cute. If you add up everything, this probably cost you maybe between $5 and $6. I'm thinking a little bit under $5. So you can't go wrong with that price point. And here it is on my shelf in my kitchen. I love farmhouse country, but I love rustic country too. And I also love vintage. And you can just incorporate all of those styles together. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please hit that like button. It really helps my channel out. And ring that bell for future notifications. I love y'all. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. And I'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all.